Guangxi has endured one of its most punishing flood seasons in recent memory, as relentless rains swept across the region over the past several months. Torrential downpours triggered severe flooding in multiple counties and cities, disrupting transport networks, damaging infrastructure, and forcing large-scale evacuations. In several areas, local authorities described the water levels as the highest in decades, with rivers overflowing their banks and reservoirs pushed beyond warning thresholds. The hardest hit areas include Liuzhou, Guilin, and Qinzhou. In Liuzhou, rainfall totals surpassed 1 meter within a single week at the height of the storm belt, overwhelming drainage systems and submerging urban districts. Along the Liu River, water levels rose several meters above the designated safety line, threatening downstream communities and prompting the urgent relocation of residents. Streets and parts of the city were transformed into rivers, with vehicles submerged and businesses forced to shut down for weeks. Agricultural lands surrounding the city were inundated, raising concerns over crop losses that may weigh heavily on local livelihoods in the months to come. In the southern coastal areas such as Qinzhou and Beihai, the flooding was compounded by record-breaking short-term rain events. Some townships recorded nearly 200 millimeters of rainfall in a single hour, overwhelming defenses and producing flash floods that tore through villages. Local authorities reported significant disruptions to port operations and damage to fishing communities, while inland roads connecting rural counties to urban centers were cut off by water and landslides. Emergency services struggled to restore mobility, with many areas remaining accessible only by boat or helicopter. Further north in mountainous counties, flash floods and mudslides proved equally destructive. Longsheng, Rong'an, and neighboring areas experienced multiple landslips after prolonged rains saturated hillsides. Entire clusters of houses were destroyed in some villages, and casualties were reported despite preemptive evacuations. These incidents highlight the persistent vulnerability of upland communities to sudden geological disasters triggered by extreme rainfall. Rescue teams were deployed along river valleys, clearing debris and providing relief supplies to stranded families, though recovery is expected to take months. Economic impacts are already being tallied. Agriculture suffered extensive losses, with rice paddies, cornfields, and vegetable plots left submerged for days. Farmers reported widespread livestock losses, particularly in low-lying grazing lands. Small enterprises, especially those dependent on tourism in areas such as Guilin, also reported steep declines as attractions were closed and visitors evacuated. The cost of repairing damaged infrastructure is expected to strain regional budgets, even as disaster relief funds have been released by the central government. Despite the destruction, the response showcased notable strengths. Rapid mobilization of emergency services, the use of early warning technology, and the dedication of rescue workers helped prevent the disaster from escalating further. However, with forecasts indicating a continued risk of heavy rainfall into the late summer, authorities remain on high alert. Shelters are being maintained, monitoring networks expanded, and reinforcement work continues along key waterways. The floods in Guangxi this year illustrate the intensifying challenge of climate extremes in southern China. The combination of record-breaking rainfall, fragile terrain, and densely populated river valleys created conditions for widespread devastation. As recovery begins, the region faces a dual task: repairing damaged communities, while also preparing for future floods that may arrive with even greater force. For the millions of people who call Guangxi home, resilience has become not just an aspiration, but a necessity. Thanks for watching Severe Weather, where we break down the facts behind nature's most intense moments. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel going. Hit the bell so you never miss a real, calm, and clear report. Note: some footage in this video may be used for illustration and may not show the exact event described. See you in the next one. Stay informed. Stay safe.